There's so much talk on YouTube and on social media in general these days about the importance of a regulated nervous system. You hear it everywhere. The power of a regulated nervous system. Hear that in psychology and working with attachment, working with behavior. You hear it in occult manifestation practices. We're saying the key is your nervous system. So what exactly is this? What exactly does it mean to have a regulated nervous system? Well, we are transmitters of energy and information. Our being, our vessel, has this electromagnetic quality within and without. And when we are in a state to where we are present in our body, when we are present in our experience, we have this quality of being able to access a pure expression that's within us. We are in a state where we can respond versus react, where a response is something that's intentional on our part, something that we have control over, something that we have a say in, where reactivity is gut-wrench. You're out of control. And the regulated nervous system, it puts us in this space to where we are responsive. We're able to be present in our bodies. There's an expansive feeling in our bodies. I work as a wellness coach, and what I notice with many people who come to me for help, many people can't feel their bodies. Their bodies are overly tense, and they're very disconnected with their bodies. They're very disconnected on subtle levels. And when one is in this regulated state, you're very connected with your body. It's a deep sense of feeling. Many people are disassociated, so they're not present in their bodies. Their attention is off in stories in their heads. It's off in stories that the media is feeding them. They're always in this reactive state to where they're emotionally reacting to thoughts and stories that they're bombarded with. And usually that emotional state is this level of anxiety that creates tension in the body, and anxiety is essentially rooted in fear. So regulated nervous system, it's not that one doesn't feel fear, it's just that one is able to feel that fear. You feel the tension in the body. If there's something useful that tension has to convey, then you heed the warning. If it's not, if it's just a fabrication from the mind, then you have the skill of feeling the tension and then letting it move, letting it go. So the regulated nervous system is not this perpetual state. It's a skill that one has, to where one is able to feel negative emotions, to feel things that are unpleasant, but not to dwell in that state forever. Going to occult manifestation circles, you say you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. And I've experienced this, and I know many people who watch these videos on YouTube. You want something different in your life, and you're always chasing a technique, but ultimately the technique is to help you get into a feeling. It's to help you get into a state. The thing that you claim to want to manifest is all about getting a feeling from what you think that thing is going to give you in your life. So a regulated nervous system, when you're able to regulate your emotions and be present, you're able to tap into those states. That's what they say. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are, or you manifest from the state that you're dominantly occupying. So when you're able to tap into peace, tap into wholeness, tap into presence, and get a sense of what that feels like in your body, then how you're engaging with the world, what you tune into, what you put out, there is that correspondence there of what you're attracting, what you're emitting. Many of the ancient mind-body practices are all about tapping into breath, tapping into focus and concentration. On my channel, there's videos I've done off of Count Stefan Woluski's system of Caucasian yoga, which is sun yoga, gazing at the sun, concentrating, time breaths, and essentially being able to tap into a state, a feeling that practice gives you, which is all these old school practices were essentially practices in nervous system regulation. Intentional breathing, tapping into the body, tapping into the feeling, and practicing every day to cultivate a feeling, cultivate a state. So there absolutely is something to this whole concept of nervous system regulation. And I find it ironic because media, the intent of media is to bombard you with so much information, so much distraction, that you are perpetually in a dysregulated state. You're perpetually overwhelmed. You're always chasing something. You're chasing dopamine. You're chasing distraction. You're chasing the next hit. Always seeking, never arriving. And that seems to be the modern world. So if you can build some practice of simply going to a quiet place, turning off your electronics, feeling your body, noticing your breathing, tapping into that feeling, bringing your attention to a still point, and building that practice of holding your focused attention on a still point longer and longer, connecting with the breath longer, connecting with the feeling in your body, then you build that superpower of nervous system regulation. You build that superpower of being in a state of peace, being in a state of response, being in a state of being able to initiate from a clear intention. And that makes you an anomaly in a world that wants you fragmented, a world that wants you reacting to chaos, a world that wants you depleted, incoherent. Because when you're incoherent and you're fragmented and exhausted and you're always chasing, then you're much easier to control. You're much more profitable. So I'm going to end this transmission today. I may share some nervous system regulation practices of my own. You can watch some old videos. Go find that that system of Caucasian yoga, gazing at the sun. That's an amazing power of regulating your nervous system, is doing that every day. I'm Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33. I'll see you on the other side.